everyone, thanks for clicking on the video. Just trying something new here with some drone footage that I recorded in the Pine Barrens. So if you're not interested in hearing the music and seeing the pine trees and the view, you can click forward. The bloopers end about 4.5 minutes into the video, so just wanted to let you guys know that. Trying a new approach. Hopefully you enjoy some of the views from our vast Pine Barrens in New Jersey. It's a great area to go researching in. We have lots of more stories coming out in the near future. You know, Nathan and I and Brian are working on some new material, and we got some plans to head out into the field where you can actually check us out doing this stuff live, in action. So appreciate all your support. Thanks for subbing and liking us, sharing this with your friends, and don't forget to tune in again Saturday night at 8 o'clock for the next episode of Squatch Talks Podcast. Thanks for squatching. Some Dr. Bronner's and some Dixie cryptid soup. Get any of those chiggers off.
I gotta change my shirt. Can I be on with guns out?
Oh, sure.
And I can't get this to go down.
It looks good there. It's actually better on that angle, remember, for recording purposes.
I thought I had it on that angle. It doesn't matter.
No, it looks good. I mean, yeah, it's like you look all pinkish and purplish and stuff, and
Really?
all pixelated. Yeah, that's because of where you have it mounted now. It's up higher. You know, I had a major malfunction when I was getting set up this evening. One thing after the next. You know, this has been.
Now I broke it.
There you go.
Quit messing with it. I broke it.
I'm looking at your picture and it's all pixelated, but it's probably just from my, internet service. Thank you.
I hope
Thank
so.
you, Verizon. Can't tell. I'm not even using the pop blocker. Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little gray right down in here, I think.
A little?
Like that worried gray. It's coming in the bottom there.
That's why you got to change the way you think.
Because there's so much of it.
I just shave it off.
Yeah.
My youthful appearance this way.
Yeah. It never used to bother me until somebody told me, boy, you look a lot younger when you shave. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You like the new shirt?
I do.
Moose Squatch. It's from Belfast, Maine.
I got a new shirt too. It's this one. As soon as they bought it for me, I cut the sleeves off. I paid all the money for the ink. I got to show it off sometime,
That's right.
I didn't want to steal Terry's thunder. Rule number 1. I forgot to turn my phone off.
I forgot what rule number 1 was.
I don't know if that was rule number 1 or not. But I'm breaking 2 also because I have my soda stream.
And I'm looking. Yeah, that's right. The carbonated beverage.
You're listening to Squatch Talks Podcast. Real stories and real encounters told by real researchers. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey, you know what? Everything works out as it should. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's some days are better than others. I like to, try to remain positive and send out good thoughts and think good, good things when I'm out there. I went out on a little hike today, flew the drone in an area where, we've had some activity in the past, and there's been reports have come in. But beautiful day weather-wise. I had to take advantage of it.
Right.
So after the batteries run out, I went and took a hike, came across a beautiful little bridge that was redone over the creek. And I kept going. I think I'd been there at one point with Kevin at some point. Yeah.
I'm sure you've been everywhere with Kevin.
Yeah. So enjoyed my time out there. Did a few knocks, picked a couple of different trees, kind of hear the difference in the pitch and the tone. And heard some rustling, but nothing else. Some tattletale birds were announcing my presence.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way out, I must have come across at least a half a dozen deer road crossings, going down the trail back towards the main road. But it's a great area.
It's getting cold. It's getting cold. Everything's getting a little more active. Cold at night, so things are moving around a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Winter's coming. Everybody's getting a little more active.
And I stopped at another little area where there's a creek, and I found raccoon prints.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember on the expedition when we found that track cast, you found the cast, and
I got to bring them along to the expedition and give them to Ben.
Yeah, and Ben saw the raccoon tracks and said, "Hey, can we make a cast of these?" I said, "Sure, go for it." And it came out pretty good. So I'm like, I didn't even have my phone on me when I walked down. It's like through this tall grass. I didn't feel like going back and getting the phone and walking back through it again. You know what I mean? The chiggers are no fun. So
yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, it was good to get out and
record.
Yeah. But Heather and I were talking about some things we got ideas about doing.
Yeah.
And maybe some real quick shorts, seems to be a way to gain some attention on social media, with these reels, I'm hesitant to do the TikTok thing. I know you like giving it
I don't do that anymore either.
I'm real hesitant to go there.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking with the reels, I can get maybe a few things out a week, and maybe get a few more followers. Who knows?
Yeah.
Turn on a few more people to the channel.
I used to like watching those reels. I'd go through those.
You can become addicted to that easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scrolling through. I'll tell you, it's like the society today. We've become so mindless. And I'll be at a traffic light, and there'll be somebody sitting next to me at the traffic light, and they're on their phone, literally looking down at their phone. And then, of course, the light changes. I start going, and they're nowhere near me.
Sitting there,
holding up traffic. It's crazy.
It is
crazy. And with everything else going on, things are starting to get back to normal, right? The pandemic is.
I mean, one thing you can take out of that story, though, not to interrupt you,
no, please.
It's don't be looking through Facebook on your phone. Just put it down, turn on Squatch Talks podcast, and listen to us while you're driving.
There you go.
Then you don't have to worry about being the guy sitting back there at the red light.
And you don't have to use any data either. We're on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, you name it, Apple.
You can laugh at us.
Laugh at us all you want.
Yeah. Turn the volume up, and we'll yell at the people. Tell us, we can yell obscenities for you. Get the hell out of the way!
Hey, you! Get off your phone! I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
Or you could be like me, and I honk when I go past people I know. I honk the horn when I drive past. Did that on the way back from the woods tonight. But hey, got some good video tonight. Got some drone footage. Who knows? Maybe we could start using some of that in some of these episodes. I keep saying.
Yeah, then they don't have to look at us.
And they don't have to stare at our mugs anymore,
I'm gonna have a drink.
Hey, I think I'll join you. You know what
I am I'm gonna plug our other sponsor that we're gonna get sooner or later. Like Snoop Dogg, SodaStream. save a bottle. You buy one bottle, save what's it save? Millions of bottles, you know.
And millions
Soda
of,
stream.
and millions of fishies and turtles too.
That's right.
But hey, our friends at Black Rifle Coffee Company, we're still plugging them, even though they haven't come on board officially yet.
Well, yeah. Somebody will tell them eventually that they're supposed to.
They just opened up a new retail outfit in Killeen, Texas.
Yeah.
And they have this big grand opening ceremony and stuff, ribbon cutting. I've been to Killeen.
Why don't you open one in New Jersey?
Right here. I'll open it.
That's what I mean. Why don't you open one in New Jersey?
It's not a bad idea. I love it, man. I turned on some of my friends to this stuff. They're like,
Yeah,
oh my God,
I think there's, I don't know if they put crack in it or what, but man, it's good.
it's real good. I get a lot of squatching done when I drink this stuff.
There you go. It is. That's some espresso shit there.
It is
That's good.
good shit, man. I drank that at the went to the rodeo Saturday night and brought some of it with us. I was up there. I was trying to get fan of the evening, Took my shirt off.
I'll have to go sometime. I've never been to the rodeo.
Oh, it's a good time.
Never been.
People of course get a little uptight over the they think the cruelty to animals thing, but hey, they're not getting eaten, right?
They're running around, getting some exercise.
I love the barrel racing too with the women.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I can't breathe while they're charging around those barrels. It's like for 18 seconds, you're holding your breath, And the bucking Broncos they start off with.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it's a real rodeo in New Jersey.
Riding the bulls and everything.
And you know what's funny? Scotty Plowman, he's a squatcher out in Missouri. And he and I met up and I did some squatching with him out there. And he took me to an area where he had 3 of them. I'll tell this story real quick. Scotty was checking out a research area and calls me up. Says, Eric, if I don't make it out of here, tell my wife where I am. I said, what's going on, Scotty? He goes, there's 3 of them. One's squatting down and he's got to be 10 feet tall. He's all black. And there's 2 more younger ones, like 7.5 feet tall. They're reddish brown and they're flanking me on both sides. I said, Scotty, relax. I said, just calm down. They're not going to hurt you. I said, just slowly back out. Don't smile. Just slowly back out.
Don't smile.
I stayed up. I stayed on the phone with him, right? And I helped him walk out and he backed out. And just as he's getting near the road, he hears a vehicle coming down the road and the squatches that were flanking him went down on their bellies. And that's when he turned, tore across the road and got into his Jeep and took off. But he took me back to that area. So we found tall boy trees. I told this story, I think, maybe. Yeah, man, that was a crazy call I got. So Sky, he's a clown, a rodeo clown.
Oh yeah.
Right. But he's also a musician now. So we're at the rodeo and this clown that's like kind of emceeing things from the field, right? He's making some jokes and stuff. And I said, hey, Scotty, get in the barrel. and the MC up in the booth said, hey, who said that? But they had a Yeti fan of the night thing going on, right? So like the most, like, the most involved fan gets a prize. I didn't.
Of course not.
But another odd thing, this is not Squatch related, okay? But they do this, it's very patriotic crowd, okay? So they have the woman with the horse come out holding the American flag and they do the whole thing around the arena.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she stands in the middle while they do the national anthem and then the benediction, right? Meanwhile, proudly standing there in the center of the arena, and the horse decides to take a pee.
No.
I mean, you couldn't
have timed it any better.
You couldn't make this up, okay?
Yeah.
And literally there's this huge puddle in the middle of I'm like, what's gonna happen now if they get if they tackle the bull or the calf right there, they're gonna get right?
It's the way, it's the unfortunate business. Yeah.
And then Heather tells me it's around 9 o'clock, it's getting towards the end of the event. and she says, I just saw a UFO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And apparently she saw this like orange sparkling light up above, and it was just kind of blinking on and off, and then it went to the right and then blinked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I said, well, why don't you tell me? She goes, well, I'll fixated on it.
Right. And it doesn't last as long as,
Yeah.
as you think. It's like gone.
So that was kind of cool. And then there was a post that somebody made on Facebook about a similar situation. Turns out that was from the night before, though. So
Oh yeah.
also from New Jersey.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
that
sure.
corroborates that. Yeah.
Yeah, and same type of thing, and they had video of it. And that's exactly what she saw.
Wow.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. You said Terry.
Yeah, I didn't want to steal her thunder from telling the story, but you told Heather, so I'll tell hers. She was going to work up at the daycare, and I've taken you up through there, up through the orchard and all that, the apple orchard.
Yep.
She said she was coming out of the apple orchard, going downhill to go to the daycare, and she saw a silver cylinder, like the old
cigar shape.
Yeah, the cigar shape. That's what I'm looking for. The cigar shape UFO. She said it was silver, and then it just.
Whoa! When was that?
It was earlier this year. I didn't want to, she didn't tell
awesome.
it was her story, but now it ain't anymore. I took it.
Nice. Oh, that's pretty cool.
No, I thought so. Yeah,
I've seen
I
a
told her,
couple.
report that shit,
Yeah,
I kept telling her.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
You know how witnesses are. They're always apprehensive to report these things.
totally. Well, I did a recent follow-up with a witness,
Yeah.
Bigfoot witness, yeah, and it really was class B at best, possible track line.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not to interrupt, but I want to, while I'm thinking about it. Crap, I can't remember the name of it. It's another podcast. We were listening to it. I gotta ask Brian. Swamp Dweller. That's it. Swamp Dweller. Yes, we were just listening to one. They were in the Pine Barrens and saw a dog man.
Really?
Yes. And I don't know when it's from.
Wow.
Yeah. And and he was either Squatch or dog man in near Cape May.
Well, and last night on Travel Channel was a episode of they had Legend of Bigfoot, I think. Oh no, they did have that one also, but last night was the Jersey Devil Monster in the Woods or something. I think that was the name of it.
Right.
And they go into talking about that possibility as well, the dog man. I don't know.
No, I just thought maybe we could get some contact information and do an interview.
An interview, yeah. And it's funny because I thought the same thing when I was watching the show last night. I remember the guy's name. Okay.
Yeah.
So same thought crossed my mind. Hey, maybe we should get a hold of this guy.
Yeah.
He claims he saw the Jersey Devil, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know me, I always talk about it being misidentification, somebody really having an encounter with a Bigfoot, and they call it Jersey Devil, but it wasn't that long ago, and the guy's around. I think I know how to figure out how to get a hold of him. It's just from his name. The family is
that just way. Up the street.
Towards one of my areas.
Yeah.
But good. Yeah, that's another potential thing,
Yeah, I would like to go talk to a couple of Jersey Devil people.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And who knows? Maybe they'll change my mind.
Oh, dinner tonight out at my mom's. Every Monday night we have dinner out there. Mm-hmm. My oldest daughter, Lauren, was telling me a story. They were camping last week up in the Poconos, and they rented two campsites, and there was 5 of them, I think. So instead of everybody splitting up like 2 and 3 or whatever, they all camped on one campsite, and then had like the food and the festivities at the other campsite.
Okay.
She walked back to her tent, and she said something came running down through the woods. past her tent, and it was like, I asked her if it was huffing, and I played the sound of a bear huffing and all that stuff.
Mhm.
She said it was definitely huffing. Nobody would commit to if it was on 2 or 4 legs either. When it ran away, her husband heard it too. My son-in-law, he heard it too. And these are, I don't know if he's ever really believed in Bigfoot.
So probably skeptics.
Very skeptical, very scientific. Lauren, I don't know if she believes me or not, but it doesn't matter. They said it was definitely bear sized.
So they actually saw something.
No, they never saw it.
Oh, okay.
She heard it. She was in the tent. She heard it. She think they're convincing themselves it was a bear.
Could she feel it? Like, could she feel the
I don't
footsteps?
know. No, I got to ask her a little bit more.
Okay.
I got to get her alone and interrogate him a little bit more. There's too much goes on at my house at dinner time.
Sure, absolutely. But if you think about it, hey, by any chance, did you feel these footsteps?
Yeah, because they said it was dry enough that it was too hard to make impressions.
Yeah.
And it is. It hasn't rained for God knows how long.
I'll tell you what, I got to this area at the end of the trail, right, where there would normally be like this wet, boggy area. And that's where I seem to recall being with Kevin. But it was completely dry. And I was checking for tracks. And yeah, it's a real spongy kind of area, but it's dry here too. And no tracks. And yeah, it's definitely oh, and one of the bogs was dried out also.
Really?
This one was filled up. So, but the creek was running good. So yeah, that's interesting though.
Should go out, walk around in the bog, see if there's any big footprints.
I've done that.
I remember doing that up at Ricketts Glen when they drained Lake Jean.
Mm-hmm.
They had to repair the dam, so that it was still had water in it, obviously, but it wasn't nearly full. We walked all over that thing looking for footprints because it was cold when I was up there.
Wow,
we lost 2 shoes that day.
Well, you mentioned asking your daughter if she heard the huffing sound, right? And that reminds me of John Horton's story from the 70s up in northern New Jersey, not far from the Great Swamp. He was returning from a party in the early morning hours and was just walking past the old high school. And he heard to his right a tree shaking, okay? And he could actually see this tree shaking. But he couldn't see what was causing the tree to shake. So he continued on and made a right turn, going down the road that would have taken him down to, where his parents' house was. And how street lights will illuminate certain patches of the road. We're coming up the road towards him, and there's a slight hill. He could see something coming, and it looked like almost like a homeless type individual. Like we thought it was maybe somebody that was, out of sorts, right? And he's like, well, I'll keep walking. Stopped at first. And then the other thing stopped because they were both illuminated by the street lights.
Right.
And so this thing then started go down and it went boom, boom, and slapped the ground a few times. You're going, what the hell? Is this guy on drugs or is he drunk or something,
Right.
And didn't, again, really think anything of it. He was thinking it was some guy on his way back up the road. So he started to walk again towards it, and this thing started walking. And next thing he knows, this thing kind of took off full steam, running towards him. And he could hear it, and it was moving at a really good clip, and he could hear it. Each like an exhale each time, right?
Yeah.
And just as it was coming up towards him, he just stepped off to the side and it ran past him. and then at the next block, it did one of these things where and it made the left, kind of thing, and made the left and went down the road that would have taken it up behind the school. And it wasn't for many years that he really gave it much thought and of course he saw this thing walk past, and it didn't register in his mind that it wasn't a person,
Right.
again, it was back in the 70s. Guys had their hair long. They usually had facial hair and stuff, and jeans, and fringy type things on the clothes, right? So you just assumed it was some drug addict or alcoholic
Yeah.
coming home from a party like he was,
Right.
But
But that also goes back to something like Ben said when he was in his canoe going down the
yeah,
river when he had that encounter. He knew if he got his foot in the water, he was going to get eaten by a shark.
right. That's pretty cool.
So your mind just does what it needs to do to keep you calm, keep you where you need to be.
That's right. Oh, and you know what? Who was it? Somebody mentioned to me an encounter that they had directly east of where Ben had his encounter back then.
Okay.
So it's a recent thing that somebody told me. I get people coming in all the time, just telling me different stories.
I did 2 investigations in that area already.
No
Where
kidding.
Ben, yeah.
It was Arrow Island, I think. Arrowhead Island is where he stopped, I think. And that's where they had the boulders thrown at them.
Mhm.
Watermelon-sized boulders.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right.
But,
It's extremely crazy.
so I'm going to be back up there in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah?
I reserved campsite 20.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ring a bell?
Campsite 20.
It's the one you and Terry had.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 20?
Yeah, I had 19. You had 20.
Oh. Up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm with you.
Now it's coming to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going
I'm
for
forgetting what place we were at.
Anastasia wants to go camping with her dad. So taking her and Heather up with me.
Yeah.
And I figured that was a good spot as any, since the other ones were all taken.
Right.
I didn't, well, the other one that went up the hill that you had to hike into was not taken, but I didn't feel like hiking in.
Nah.
This one's right across the path. Perfect.
Yeah. Right. It's only got that one good flat spot, but it was good and flat.
That's perfect.
And it's big enough for your tent
Yeah.
too,
Well, I'm going to probably bring the big one because I don't know if Anya's boyfriend's coming or not. We may need
that'll still
2.
fit there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll still fit there.
I'll just put the truck up on that rock boulder. Oh, wait, that was at my campsite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, that'll be fun. And we'll get back up there and I'll do a little bit more scouting. Maybe plan a Squatch Talks expedition. I've already got some people interested.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Mhm. But, and speaking of expeditions, we're still moving forward with PA, right? So I'm gonna help organize and get this thing off the ground. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Cool.
Just can't handle the logistics of it all. I need the master.
I'll drink one of these.
I need more of that, then I'll have
drink
more
one of
hours
these, and I'll call everybody that needs
in the morning. Yeah.
Caroline's getting me all up to speed, so we're gonna be good. Don't worry.
Good.
Don't worry. As long as you got the spots reserved, I'll start getting on the private group discussion, and we'll get everybody up to speed. Okay.
Good.
But hey, I'm looking forward to it. It's a beautiful time of year to get up there.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be nice.
I'm sure we'll have some good activity and some more stories to tell when we get back.
Yeah, that's what we need. More stories,
Well,
fresh
here we
ones. I know there's other ones out there. I just have to remember them all.
Oh gosh, I thought of a few also over the break that we had this last week,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, you know what? I don't know. There's just so many, it gets jumbled. And,
Yeah.
And then I was out today, and I'm like, was I here before? You get that deja vu feeling, I'm like, I recognize this spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That happens everywhere.
But
That happens everywhere.
But yeah, we're supposed to have these, people sending in our questions for the Q&A
Yeah,
thing.
that would be
the
nice.
Squatch Corner.
That would be nice. Yeah, we could answer some questions and touch on some old stories if you
Right.
need if you want more details or anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I tried
Squatch Talks Podcast
at gmail.com.
gmail.com.
But yeah, no, I meant to give Dixie a call, Cameron, and I know he's been busy doing a lot of podcasting, and he's doing some audio books that he's working on. It's taking
Oh,
a
that's
break from
cool.
working, so we were supposed to get together and talk last week, and it just never happened. But we're thinking, hey, we got I got the 13th episode up on our podcast platform. Now I'm getting ready to put number 14 in. Squatches in Jersey, forget about it. That's the next
That's a
one.
good one.
That's the next one to drop. Yeah, that's with
Okay.
Jacob. Remember Jacob?
Yeah.
And Heather joined us on that one also.
Yeah.
So that'll be up next. But I got to kind of space them out a little bit. But yeah, we got both the New York episodes up. So if you're interested, you can check them out on the buzzsprouts.com or go to one of your favorite listening platforms. And you don't have to waste any data. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, and also a little bit of business. Yeti Bars is still having their contest. You can win $500. So if you go to yetibars.net, place an order between now and August 20th, you could win $500. And it's that easy. At the checkout, just enter code STP10 and you'll even save an additional 10% off. And how much is it to get free shipping, Nathan?
$75.
Easy to do. Easy to do. After my hike, I showered up with my Dixie Cryptid bar, which is getting really thin, by the way. And I'm sorry I didn't order more of them, but I'm going to start with the Forest Fresh next. That's the next flavor du jour. But good stuff. Lathers up nice. It feels clean when you get done. Heather likes the way I stink. So, hey, all good.
There you go. That's all that matters.
So anyway, we're just coming on, keeping you up to date, letting you know where we're at, and told a couple of brief stories. But give us your questions, and Nathan and I are going to keep working on some new material. And I actually thought of another idea, and I'll talk to you about this, Nathan, another time. But how you and I can do some in the field type stuff remotely.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be nice.
So we can
There you
actually
go.
do some simulcast kind of stuff. So stay tuned.
Yeah, there you go. I'm working on not old stories, but trying to remember and writing down things when I remember them. So, cool. I know there's more stories back there. So just
We've
got
been
to
out.
bang them around a little bit, get them to come loose.
We've been out hundreds and hundreds of times, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh, there's not something going to be Bigfoot related every time because they're just funny stories.
oh my gosh.
But I haven't tried to remember those stories before.
Mhm.
I've only ever tried to remember the stories when something happens,
Right.
Now I'm trying to remember all of them just to talk about them because it's a good time,
Sure. Hey, why not share them? They're fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like every expedition we've got something funny too that we come out of it. You know what I mean? Something happens that's funny. Usually to me or one of the other, attendees, and it's something that we'll remember. So
Yeah.
So
Always
hey,
a good time.
thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you clicking on the video. All right. And don't mind sharing and subbing. We'd appreciate it. Helps us grow the channel. And what do we say, Nathan?
Thanks for squatching.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Squatch Talks Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and give us a like. And stay tuned for more exciting stories on Squatch Talks.